In order. Municipality of Oakland-Wawanesa would like to acknowledge and recognize that we are operating on Treaty 1 and Treaty 2 lands, being the original territory of the Anishinaabe, the Dakota Nations, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. Be it resolved that the agenda for the June 23rd, 2026 meeting be accepted as presented with the addition of the Manitoba Good Roads Association nomination for best non-farm rural home grounds under general business. Can I move that? Councillor Jones, second Councillor Gullett. All in favor? Be resolved that the minutes of May 19th, 2026 regular meeting of council be hereby approved as circulated. Moved by Councillor Fisher, second Councillor McDonald. Any errors or omissions? All in favor? Be resolved that the June 15th, 2026 general accounts payable being checks number 8849 to 8865 and 8867 to 8920 in the amount of $121,803.71 be hereby approved. Moved by Councillor Jones, second Councillor Hatch. Discussion? All in favor? Sir Fisher?
Leave?
Again? You.
Well, you don't like me.
Be resolved that general accounts payable to check number 8866 in the amount of $200 to the Big Valley Car Wash be hereby approved. Moved by Councillor McDonald, second Councillor Hatch. Discussion? All in favor? Be it resolved that direct deposit 405 being staff payroll for the period May 9th to June 22nd from the 26th in the amount of $16,075.49 be hereby approved. Moved by Councillor Gullett, second Councillor Jones. Discussion? All in favor? Be it resolved that direct deposit 406 being staff payroll for the period May 23rd to June 5th, 2026 in the amount of $17,284.92 be hereby approved. By Councillor Donald, second Councillor Fisher. Discussion? Favor? It resolved that direct deposit 408 in the staff payroll for the period June 6th to June 19th, 2026 in the amount of $16,644.93 be hereby approved. Moved by Councillor Hatch, second Councillor Gullett. Discussion? All in favor? Be it resolved that direct deposit 474 being council indemnities for the month of May 2026 in the amount of $4,903.89 be hereby approved. By Councillor McDonald, seconder. Councillor Jones. Discussion? All in favor? Under the utility account, be it resolved that the June 15, 2026 utility accounts payable being checks number 1440 to 1456 in the amount of $23,325.74 be hereby approved. Moved by Councillor Hatch, second Councillor Gullett. Discussion? All in favor? Be it resolved that the statement of revenue and expenditures report to May 31st, 2026 be received as presented. Moved by Councillor Fisher, seconder. Councillor McDonald. Discussion? Favor? Be it resolved that the bank reconciliations for the month of May 2026 be approved as previously circulated. Moved by Councillor Jones, second Councillor Gullett. Discussion? All in favor? Carried. Okay, we'll go to delegations.
And we have Kyle here from Census Partnerships to present the audited financial statements for 2025.
Welcome.
Yeah, didn't get out this year, so
Yeah.
first time out here. So yeah, I was the partner review on the file this meeting. I kind of did the top level after both Katie had done the work and Brett had done the first review. So I'm just kind of here just to present audit report, give a brief overview of just a few things in the financials and go over our findings. Again, if you guys have questions, feel free to ask throughout or at the end, it's up to you. At any point, but so just to kind of start with our audit report. So it's been the same report it's kind of been for the last few years, which is good. So it's basically what it's called a qualified opinion, meaning that we were good with everything except for just two areas. The first area just being the cash revenue from the rec, the Oakland-Wawanesa rec. It's just one of those qualifications you kind of can't get around just because as soon as you're dealing with a significant amount of cash, there's always the risk that we only know what's in the records. Common qualification for organizations, rec boards, rinks, anything like that that deals with cash. We kind of just have to put it in as a default. So it just carried into the RM report just because the amount of cash is significant and material to the municipality. So this same qualification was also in the Oakland-Wawanesa rec. So it just carried across. Again, it's just basically saying that it's limited to what's in the records. So apart from that, everything was fine. The other paragraph for the qualification has been in there the last few years, and it's just the asset retirement obligation. Again, every municipality we're dealing with is still going through it. I think I might have one that maybe cleared them all, but really has to do with your lagoon, your waste landfill transfer station. We did add this year just because we'd have to do a bit of research with another municipality about it. And there is a requirement that at some point you'll have to close those transfer stations. So there is an obligation there. So then we just asked that some kind of study be done just to see what it would cost to close it, when it would close, and then we can do the estimate and it would come out of there. So the main part is, yeah, buildings with asbestos, landfill, and if you have a lagoon. So those are kind of the three.
Just a question, would we looking at engineers reports or are we looking at something else before to decide that?
For the most part, we've seen someone usually get some kind of engineer to come out and just say like, that would know when it would close. It's kind of similar to the landfill ones that were happening in previous years, just because it is a transfer station, assuming there's some kind of structure or cement pad or something out there, just the things that are there. Like if you were to completely close it off and take it back to what it should be, there is cost associated, may not be significant, but we don't know. So that's why we always ask, get it done. And if it's not significant, then at least we can, take it out and then it's not an issue. But again, every RM we're dealing with has this in there just because it was a new standard that came in and I don't know, someone just trying to earn a paycheck somewhere, but now everyone has to deal with it. So the bigger one we've been finding is lagoons have been an issue, but we finally found an RM that got someone to assess their lagoon, which is good because those are hard. How long do they last? How much is it really going to cost to close? Like there's a lot of estimates in there. Asbestos, that one seems to be an easier one. If you've ever taken out a building with it, you can kind of use that as a basis, come up with a calculation like per square foot or something, and then just have a reasoning behind it to present. So again, they're just a new standard that just at some point, just because hasn't been done, we have to bring it up and put it in there. So, because we don't know how much it could cost, but that's the main range. So apart from those two paragraphs, everything in our opinion was materially correct. We didn't find any significant issues or errors or omissions or anything like that. So that's our report on the financial statements. Just looking quickly at the overview of your statement of financial position, you guys are sitting in a good position. There wasn't a whole lot of changes between your accounts, like your balance sheet accounts for the year. Accounts payable did go up. There's some water main renewal invoices that were outstanding. Capital assets obviously went up. You guys have been creators, and again, the water main work, as I mentioned, kind of increased those. All other accounts, there wasn't much for changes significant. Everything was pretty close to last year, which is good. So nothing concerning there on the statement of financial position. Looking at your statement of operations, or your income statement, you guys had an annual surplus this year, which is kind of what you want to have. Did go down a bit last year, but last year there was still a whole bunch of that ice plant revenue coming in through the rec. So it was like 1.2 million last year, but a lot of that was the funding there. So about 600,000 this year for annual surplus, again, which is good. You're not in a deficit, so that's the main part. For the most part, it was pretty well same as last year. Not a whole lot of significant changes, anything glaring popping out.
I guess I'm gonna have to ask a question. When you're saying annual surplus,
Yep.
That is not cash.
No, that's basically what would be your net income in a normal business. That not your cash, but basically what you earn, your revenues over expenses or vice versa kind of thing. So no, that's not your cash.
Right. So if we were to say we wanted to use some surplus, we wouldn't say, well, we use 600,000.
Correct. Yeah.
It'd be substantially less.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be this number either. So this number here is the PSAS surplus, so it's
Right.
basically for the accounting standards. I'll get to the other surplus, that would be your actual
Okay.
one you would use it and not
Just want to make
necessarily.
sure that, 'cause that always comes up.
Yeah, so that's what we call Schedule 14, so.
Right.
I'll talk about that one in a little bit, but yeah, so that's your PSAS surplus just with accounting standards, that also includes all your entities, so that has all the rec figures and the handy band figures in there as well, so. A lot of these notes are just provincial requirements, just have to be in there, one note to look at, so your actual cash, so like it's your cash for all your accounts, so that's just note 3. So you have 2.9 million there, and there's about 1.4 designated for reserves, so that money set aside for your reserve funds, so that leaves the difference for what's in your general operating plus what's in the rec, so the rec does have.
That number's in there too.
Yeah, so a lot of that's there, so. Good sign, your reserves are fully funded. That's an issue we've run into with quite a few other organizations where they've transferred, and they don't actually have the funds set aside. So they've run into significant issues with not having the cash to cover the reserve funds, but you guys you're fully funded, so we're not concerned there. Other notes I kind of want to discuss would be tied to Schedule 14, so note 13 is your accumulated surplus, so this is basically looking at, it's not cash, but it's your accumulation of all your surpluses less any deficits since inception, so since you guys existed. Basically, it's all of your net incomes and losses added together, so it's at about 1 million, again, it's good, it's not in a deficit. We've seen cases where that's running into a deficit and then you're running into significant problems operating, so. Utility one fluctuates with projects that's showing a deficit this year, but it all kind of depends on if you guys are doing a project or you're doing anything. Utilities are very sensitive that way, so. But yeah, no concerns there. Again, bulk of these schedules are all just municipal requirements, so unless you have questions about them, I'm not really gonna touch them apart from Schedule 14.
What page is Schedule 14?
So it would be
Page 5.
45. Yeah, so right at the back. So Schedule 14, so this is what the province uses as their, basically to get to what would be called the municipal surplus deficit, so. The top number on the general, that is what they use. If that's in a deficit, that's usually when they're calling and asking, like, hey, you've incurred a deficit, why did it happen? So for you guys this year, you had a surplus of 61,000. So that's what the province is concerned about.
Okay.
So, again, it's in a surplus position. That's good. Not if it was in a deficit position, then we'd have to at least have some reasons for when the province calls and they want to ask how you're going to recover it. In your situation, if you did have a deficit, because you guys have such a significant amount of accumulated surplus, you could just say we're going to cover it from previous year's surplus and they'd be fine with that, so. Yeah, so that's, again, nothing concerning here. Again, like I said, the utility really fluctuates based on what's happening. If you're doing any kind of project in there, it kind of jumps and PUB uses a completely different calculation for that water rate. So they take Schedule 9 and they play around with it and so.
Get us in a deficit.
Yeah,
So,
they do their little calculations and stuff, so. But overall, from your financial statements, again, nothing's concerning, basically pretty good year.
Okay.
So.
Comfort, any questions you have? Now's the time to ask me. I've been one to say that we've been good stewards of looking after the ratepayers funds that we get in, and I see this again in our reported audit report, so thank you.
Yep.
And
then we have our findings letter. There wasn't anything on there that wasn't already noted basically in the report. The only thing on there was just talking about the AROs. So we just put in long form, just explaining what they are and what's needed kind of thing. So, nothing else in there regarding anything else that's concerning, just basically reminding to say these should get done at some point to get rid of that qualification. So,
Right.
I mean, again, you guys can reach out at any point and ask us, like we do know some people have used certain companies around here to get it done. So, not that we recommend anyone, but we just do, if you have no idea who can do this, we kind of do have some that have been done in the past. So.
Question for you, do you happen to know an average wise what cost we're looking at?
I mean, it ranges, like it depends. Could be anywhere from 5, 10, 15,000. It all depends on how deep you're going, how big it is, who does it. Like, it depends if it's with the landfill or who. It's kind of a range, kind of all over the place, so.
Just to give us an idea to put in the budget file.
Yeah, and I mean, like the one like the asbestos, like, I mean, you guys can do that if you had to remove it, you know roughly what it costs, right? Like if you knew that it cost us this much to actually do it within regulations and how you're supposed to remove it, then just have that documented that we did this building at this date and just some reasoning behind it. So one like that, you can kind of do on your own. The lagoon landfill, you kind of almost need someone, an engineer or someone that knows the requirements of the province to close it down and it will be required, so.
Anything else? Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Wow, that was easy. Yeah, I mean, you guys are on time, so that's good. You're early,
Yes.
like, good. From my perspective, my review, I didn't have any issues, so I think things went well with Katie and stuff, so.
Yeah, I don't think there was any concerns while they were out here, so.
No, or even all the emails.
Yeah, no, it's always fun how it goes, but yeah, okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, you guys enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks, go back to work. You guys.
Thanks, Kyle.
Okay, we resolved that the presentation from Kyle Paul from Census Partnership of Chartered Accountants regarding 2025 audited financial statements be received. Moved by Councillor Fisher, second by Councillor Jones. All in favor? We resolved that the audited financial statements be approved and the municipality take full responsibility for the financial statements for the year ended December 31st, 2025. Moved by Councillor McDonald, second by Councillor Gullett. Favor? Carried. Okay, so now that document will be available to the public. We have no public hearing, so I guess we'll go right to communications.
Yes. So under the order of communications, we have the accessibility news, their June newsletter. We have the age-friendly connections. We have their May newsletter. Association of Manitoba Municipalities sent in information dated May the 20th, information on the 34th annual golf tournament, and their documents dated June the 9th and June the 12th. The Department of Justice sent out bulletin number 2026-18, which deals with signing the next generation 911 agreements. And I would note ours has been signed, and Brandon is doing what they need to do, being our call center. Federation of Canadian Municipalities, we've got communiques dated May the 19th, the 25th, June the 1st, June the 8th, June 11th, and June 15th. We have an introduction letter from Kinetic Homes. Manitoba Environment and Climate Change sent out bulletin number 2026-19 related to flood affected private wells. Manitoba Municipal and Northern Relations sent out their 2025 annual report on assessment inspections. Manitoba Wildlife Federation sent information on their Seal River watershed proposal. Municipal and Northern Relations sent out bulletin number 17 related to amendments to the Planning Act. They also sent bulletin number 20 related to the heavy rains. Municipal World provided their May and June newsletters. Municipality of Boys of Baden Morton had sent out a proposed AMM resolution. Unfortunately, that didn't get to this council in time to be a co-supporter, but it did pass at the June district meeting to go on to the November meetings. Oaks Tree of Love, Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Day and Month is coming up in October. The Progressive Westman office sent out the new Manitoba workplace requirement for free menstrual care products for employees. Rangeline Land Survey sent out an introduction letter. Recycle Everywhere sent their newsletter. The Rotary Brandon Sunset sent out information on their volunteer awards. There was a thank you received from STARS. Tourism Westman sent their June newsletter. And the Westman Regional Cabinet Office sent out information that Ray Berthlet has taken over as their outreach coordinator.
Okay, be it resolved that the above noted communications be received. Moved by Councillor Jones, seconder Councillor Fisher. Discussion? Favor? Okay, committee reports. Councillor Fisher, your written report, anything to add?
Nothing to add.
Mr. Jones, you have a written report, anything to add?
Negative.
Mr. Hatch, written report, anything to add today?
Yeah, nothing more to add.
Councillor Gillett, written report, anything to add?
Nothing to add.
Councillor McDonald, anything to add to your written report?
Nothing to add.
Okay, nothing further on mine. BAO, you have anything to add?
Nothing further.
Financial report?
Nothing yet.
How about the public works?
Nothing yet.
Okay, so be it resolved that the verbal and written reports be received. Moved by McDonald, second Councillor McDonald. Discussion. All in favor? Under general business, be it resolved that the one-year agreement commencing January 1st, 2026 be entered into with the Sewers Glenwood Veterinary Services District, whereby the municipality of Oakland-Wawanesa shall contribute 4.88%, being $1,128.82 of the annual district distribution of $23,161. Moved by Councillor Jones, seconder. Councillor Hatch, discussion? All in favor? Enbridge, be it resolved that a letter of support be provided to Enbridge Pipelines Incorporated for its application to Manitoba Hydro for additional electrical power to support the mainline optimization program. Moved by Councillor McDonald, seconder. Councillor Fisher, discussion? All in favor? Be it resolved that the proposed fiber path addition across the access road east of highway number 10, north of road 46 north and northwest 26819W, outlined in the maps attached to correspondence dated May 29, 2026, from RF now be approved subject to the terms and conditions of the installation agreement dated October 26, 2023, and subject to any required MTI regulations. Moved by Councillor Gullett, seconder. Councillor Hatch, discussion? All in favor? Be it resolved that the proposed fiber path addition to two properties east of Road 113 West in Carroll, outlined on the maps attached to correspondence dated May 21st, 2026 from RF Now, be approved subject to the terms and conditions of the installation agreement dated October 26, 2023. Moved by Councillor McDonald, seconder. Councillor Jones, discussion? All in favor? Be resolved that the proposed fiber path addition across Road 47 North, west of Road 106 West, and southeast 2032818W, outlined in the maps attached to correspondence dated May 22nd, 2026, from RF Now, be approved subject to the terms and conditions of the installation agreement dated October 26, 2023. Moved by Councillor Bell, second Councillor Jones. Discussion? All in favor? Be resolved that the proposed fiber path addition along the north side of Road 44 North, across Road 111 West and southwest 15819W and southeast 16819W, outlined in the maps attached to correspondence dated May 25th, 2026 from RF Now, be approved subject to the terms and conditions of the installation agreement dated October 26, 2023. Moved by Councillor Hatch, second Councillor Jones. Discussion? All in favor? And be resolved that the proposed fiber path addition across PR Road 453 and Road 109 West and Northwest 25819W and Southeast 35819W, outlined on the maps attached to correspondence dated June 2nd, 2026 from RF Now, be approved subject to the terms and conditions of the installation agreement dated October 26, 2023, and subject to any requirements MTI regulations. Moved by Councillor McDonald, second Councillor Jones. Discussion? All in favor? Manitoba Hydro, be it resolved that the request from Manitoba Hydro dated May 29, 2026 for line installation at Northwest 2819W and under Dirksen be approved. Moved by Councillor Jones, seconder. Councillor Fisher, discussion. All in favor? Be it resolved that the request from Manitoba Hydro dated June 1st, 2026 for underground line installation at Northwest 2819 West under Dirksen be approved.
Shouldn't be Dirksen. Should be Cudmore.
This is Cudmore. We'll make that change. Be resolved that the request from Manitoba Hydro dated June 1st, 2026 for underground line installation at Northwest 2819W under Cudmore be approved. Moved by Councillor Jones, seconder. Councillor McDonald, discussion. All in favor? Okay, be it resolved that the opportunity to participate in a service agreement with Clean Farms for the Manitoba Grain, Bag, and Baler Twine Recycling Program be declined at this time to allow an opportunity to record requests for their services and determine operational capacity. Moved by Councillor Fisher, seconder. Councillor Gullet, discussion? One just maybe.
I would. So Clean Farms sent the information in. There's a lot of obligations that the municipality would have to meet. The revenue that could be received was fairly minimal. I think it was $55 per metric ton. I'm not sure that we've had that much of a demand for anybody to have their bags or their twine in the transfer station. It also would require staff to be going out and making sure that they were appropriately sorting where they were going to go. So I thought that perhaps what we should do is monitor requests that we get for the service before the municipality makes a decision on entering into it.
I do know that they used to come to my brother-in-law's farm. Pick up straight from the farm, I think. Bringing it to a different place would be on a lot of farmers.
Yeah.
Less the things to do.
And you gather that much, where do you put it?
It, like, we would fill trailers, like just with one farm, the grain bags and everything, it'd be you would need to double size your transportation station if you were to do it like that.
All in favor? Okay, be it resolved that the Manitoba Municipality online report for the month of May 2026 be received and any necessary action to the bylaw maintenance program be hereby approved. Moved by Councillor McDonald, second Councillor Gully. Discussion? All in favor? Under good Manitoba Good Roads, be it resolved that the property of Gordon McClellan and Kathy Rotsky at 902112 Road 48 North be nominated for Best Non-Farm Rural Home Grounds in 2026 under the Manitoba Good Roads Association competition. Moved by Councillor Hatch, seconder Councillor Gullet. Discussion? All in favor? Okay, be it resolved, this meeting now adjourns to an in-camera meeting to discuss items related to matters in preliminary stages. Under section 152 3B3 of the Municipal Act, and all matters discussed in camera are confidential until discussed in open meeting, as per section 83(1)D of the Municipal Act. Moved by Councillor Fisher, second Councillor Jones, second Councillor Fisher. All in favor? Be it resolved that the in-camera meeting is now resumed back to a regular meeting. Moved by Councillor Bowe, second Councillor McDonald. All in favor? Okay, so we're going to do the action.
Sure. See if I've got this the way you wanted it worded.
Be it resolved that administration be directed to change the launch on Wawanesa waste transfer station to limit liability to concerns related to the hours of dumping after sufficient notice has been provided to the community. Moved by Councillor Jones, seconder, Councillor Fisher. All in favor?
That's oh, it's you.
Be it resolved that the low bid of Zenith paving on Commercial Street from 4th Street to 7th Street with option 1 for 50 millimeter and option 2 for patchwork, concrete roll curb and 50 millimeter, and option 3 at $117 a square meter for other patching for a total of $84,888 plus patching. Moved by Councilor McDonald, second by Councilor Jones. All in favor?
The same as what's on your.
Be resolved that the council accept the bids received from the qualified bidders to constitute a bid price sheet for materials for 2026 as per availability. Moved by Councilor Villa, seconder, Councilor Hatch. All in favor? Be resolved the council accept the bids received for the qualified bidders to constitute a bids price sheet for equipment for 2026 as per availability. Moved by Councilor Fisher, second Councilor McDonald. All in favor?
Thank you, Lee.
Be resolved that the low bid of West Tech at a rate of $80 per hour for project oversight be approved. Moved by Councilor Villa, second by Councilor McDonald. All in favor?
Thank you, check that.
This stays the same. Okay, we resolved that the purchase of Madam Papita, excuse me, be amended to include all lots 16 to 27 to remove the requirement to subdivide only lots 16 to 17 for it to be transferred. Moved by Councilor Fisher, second by Councilor Jones. All in favor? Carried. Should be it.
Yeah, very good.
Be resolved that this meeting is now adjourned. To meet again on Tuesday, July 21st, 2026, 9 a.m. at the municipal office in Wawanesa. Moved by Councilor Fisher, second Councilor McDonald. All in favor?